Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Scorpio placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Scorpio, just to get started, I was getting this message that it's going to be a noisy May for you. I don't know why it's coming through so far in advance. Like the month of May, springtime might be a significant time frame for you, and it's coming through as noisy. I don't know in what way that is. Doesn't feel like a bad thing. It just kind of feels like there's like a lot of movement or like changes coming in. And I'm seeing like mud, like yeah, I'm seeing mud for you, like water and earth coming together. Because you're water, I feel like there's something about there's like an earthy energy that's sort of coming through for spring. I don't know if this is metaphorical or if this is like literally in the month of May or like springtime that's significant to you. But I don't know. Now I'm kind of wondering, is this like happening right now for you, where it's like because we're entering into winter, right? So it kind of doesn't feel, I don't know. I don't know exactly what that is. Maybe it's like, we'll see what the cards say when we pull them out, but maybe there is something in your life that's sort of like, perhaps something with the earthly realm that's like picking up speed, or that you're preparing for it. It might actually be coming through like that. There was a Sagittarius reading that I did like a week or two ago. I'll link it above because we are in Sagittarius season and Sagittarius new moon. So there may be that kind of energy present for you, where it was about like picking up speed. Maybe there's something like that happening for you. Perhaps like from now until May, or now until spring in the Northern Hemisphere, of course. There is like in the next few months, there may be sort of like this energy of something, I don't want to say picking up speed because it's not fire, it's earth and water. Something about the earth is sort of like becoming more flexible in some way. Something that the earth is becoming more flexible. It could be something where like I'm kind of getting this energy of like maybe something that's been stagnant, or maybe something about like materials that haven't, or like resources that have been sort of stuck, or like it's kind of coming through as like a 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, like not having enough resources, or they're sort of like locked down, or that kind of thing. But I feel like there's something like becoming more fluid or liquid, like resources becoming liquid. That kind of thing that's happening maybe in May for you, Scorpio. Interesting. So I'm gonna leave that there. I don't know why it's like so far in advance, but I feel like what it's coming through with is just sort of like to prepare yourself to like be conscious of impatience, right? That of course, like I feel like it's something where you have to wait a little bit. And there's a sort of like preparation, or like it feels like kind of like 2 of Wands, like imagining, planning, looking to the future, that kind of energy that you're being asked to sort of be conscious of and be aware of. Making plans, being open. It's kind of like brainstorming ideas. Like it could be something where it's like you've been waiting for something to be released, is how it's coming through. And so you're making plans for the future. That's how it feels. Or it could just be that you're like waiting for like a vacation or something like that. It's kind of going through like that, like waiting for a vacation, waiting for like freedom, waiting to get something done so that you can move forward, like that. It's that kind of energy. I'm going to start with the fairies today, actually. There's a lot of like earthy energy coming through for you, but it's like you're not the earthy energy, Scorpio. It feels like you're not the earthy energy, you're the water. perhaps you're helping to create change in an earthy energy. I don't know if this is like a relationship or if it's just like resources in general. Like I'm just seeing a lot of like earth, like mud. Okay. Scorpio, what is your energy? What messages want to come through? Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, so you have the Pook, you have Lascuna, and the Spirit Dancer. I love this. Okay, because this, Lascuna she's like the frog queen. So she lives in the mud, right? There's this, I'm gonna read that one for sure. I will read the others, but that one's the one that's like sticking out to me just because of what I was just saying. Okay. Sunken treasure, discovery of self, and adventure. The realm of Lascuna, the Frog Queen, is extensive, both below and above the waters. Fairy waters are made up of human emotions, sometimes beautifully clear and sparkling, and sometimes disgustingly murky. Different fairies are attracted to different waters. And then it lists some other cards. However, Lascuna knows that there are treasures lost in disasters or abandoned by pirates to be found in the murkiest of waters. Interesting. Exploration is what this card is all about, and through exploring and seeing what we really are, warts and all, we discover parts of our talents and potentials that have been hidden by old traumas and misunderstandings, or from lack of opportunity. Lascuna's explorations are not limited to the realm of emotions, but also include the world. She wants us to dive deeply into new experiences, even if the new experiences involve flying high. Listen to different styles of music with open ears, try new tastes, look at new sights, and try them all with the open willingness of a child. She especially wants us to explore new ideas. And it says here, as important as it is to explore the inner realms, she tells us that exploration of the outer realms is also vital. She suggests that we go to places we have never been, try things we have never done, take classes in subjects we always meant to study someday, maybe even learn a language and see where that takes us. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Scorpio, I feel like you're about to do this, though. I feel like you haven't quite done this yet, or like that's what you're being encouraged to do, is sort of like explore something new. The Spirit Dancer talks about like creative energy being a momentum to move, is how it's coming through, like using spiritual energy or creative energy to create something. Yeah, self-expression, freedom, and exploration. You have exploration and adventure tied really closely together. So it says, now is the time to focus and really concentrate on a project or process, especially one involving the creative arts. Spontaneity, balanced by self-discipline, will help us achieve our goals. Strive for elegance and simplicity. This is a time to bring out and share qualities that we have nurtured in private. Interesting. It's time to share, Scorpio, because I was kind of getting this energy of something being a little bit mysterious with you. It could be something that you've been creating or working on. Excuse me. Because I'm kind of getting like this sacral chakra energy, which is represented by the color orange. And the second chakra, it's about creativity and passion and sexuality and like all of this like really delicious like creative energy. But I feel like there's something like that's more, it's coming through as being like that's more of an internal process for you, Scorpio. Maybe there's some sort of creative process that you've been sort of like internalizing or like exploring within yourself is how it's coming through, but it's shifting into, it feels like more of an outer expression. So if there is something that you've been sort of like, again with the throat chakra, like throat chakra is what balances the sacral, where where, of course, like just with the colors, like orange and blue being opposites, but it's also talking about like in order for the sacral chakra to be fully expressed, it needs to work with the throat chakra of actually expressing that creative energy in some way. So that's how it's feeling for you, Scorpio, of like expressing some sort of like creative like outlet or something so that others can see it and appreciate it. The Pook is here though, which is interesting. This is a very watery energy. It says shape changer, good and bad, bad and good, paradox and resolution. This is a card about confusion. Okay. It is time for the resolution of seeming contradictions and paradoxes in the situation. Someone or some part of the situation is cloaked in confusion, and our muddled thoughts must be stripped away, revealing truth. We just need to think about it. The information we needed is now available to us. As soon as we have that burst of insight and get it, it's time for us to make changes based on our newly clear understanding. Alternatively, it may be time for us to make a reality check on the good, bad labels we put on things. Make a list of the good, possibly even surprising things about the situation, and another list about the bad ones. If you are not in the habit of seeing the good in the bad and the bad in the good, having preferred a black and white world rather than one with colors, you may need some help in learning to do this as well. Okay, so, Interesting. Okay. Your creative process is showing you something right now, is how it's coming through. Like, it's because it's coming through very watery. It's kind of coming through with like 7 of Cups. Maybe you're not sure about like what it is that you should be focusing on, or there's like a bit of like contradiction, or it's the mud energy. It's not quite clear. There's sort of like, it's feeling like murky water, Scorpio. But what this is saying is that's actually a good thing, because I feel like normally like the we would classify murky waters as being a bad thing, right? But because Las Guna is coming through here, it's saying like embrace that energy. It's like a mud bath. I feel like there's actually something that's actually clarifying about the murky waters, is how it's coming through. Like, because if you've ever done like a face mask, right, where it's like a mud mask, like that kind of thing, or whatever, it might not literally be mud, but it kind of looks like that, but it has the effect of clarifying that, like your pores, like clearing something up or cleaning. That's how it's coming through. Like, there is a bit of a contradiction there, but there is good in the seemingly bad. There is bad in the seemingly good as well. So there's something about, like, I feel like what I'm seeing for you, Scorpio, is this muddy energy. It's murky. It's not clear, but that is what's good about the situation, is actually how it's feeling. Because there's a sense of adventure and exploration, and like discovering something, perhaps creatively, or with the Las Guna, it's like finding the treasure, finding some sort of treasure, or making some sort of discovery. Yeah. Okay. Anima Mundi. That's like a solar plexus energy for me. It's like the center of creativity, or the center of creation, I should say. It's the solar plexus. That's how I see this card. But I am going to read it. Okay, so it says, the soul of the world, all that is. Anima Mundi epitomizes the principle, accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanting melody of all living things. Wow. Scorpio. Yeah, this is the World card. This is the World card in this deck. Interesting. I never really got that with this card until now, but it is. It's the World. It's the completion of something. But I always see this as being like, with all these sort of like materials, it looks like a collage, right? It looks like a collage. I feel like there's something about like embracing all the experiences that may be around you, because there's always going to be something good in the bad, and there's going to be everything that's good also has bad in it, right? Like that, it's that kind of thing. So it's actually coming through as like removing judgments. There's no such thing as good or bad or black and white. It's a whole spectrum of color. I feel like that's how it's coming through. You have the underworld at the bottom of the deck. That's a very Scorpio energy as well. But it's the mud. This is the mud. And Singer of the Chalice, which is this watery energy. This is like the Ace of Cups in this deck. It's a lot. There's a lot for you to explore right now, Scorpio. A lot for you to explore, a lot for you to like work with. Like it could be like literal resources that you're being asked to work with, that you are perhaps working with creatively. Yeah, the peacock. This is a very spirit dancer energy, the peacock. It's the ability, and the swan at the bottom of the deck. I love that so much. Because the peacock talks about being able to digest all experiences. Like it doesn't matter what the experiences it is, you can sort of digest it and understand the meaning of it and integrate all of the lessons and the wisdom that you need to learn from a particular situation. And it's about this inner beauty that's shining outward. Because I feel like there's something about Scorpio, you're involved in a process right now that feels kind of just like embracing and exploring the mud or the murky waters, that maybe there's not a lot of clarity at the moment because you're in this sort of underworld energy, but it's like you're okay with that. That's how it's coming through. Or you're being embraced, or you're being asked to embrace that mentality of like, you're actually in a very good place right now, even if you might not be feeling like that. And I feel like there's like a desire for this energy that it feels kind of like an internal process, right? Like it feels very much like sacral and solar plexus energies that are like, that it's kind of feeling like you're nurturing yourself. It's feeling like a very inner process that you're working through, but that inner process is wanting to be expressed outward in some way, that there's some sort of outward expression of this that's wanting to come through. I don't know in what way. You could be asked to like share your work in some way. It could be like, I don't know, joining like a group or a club, or like interacting with others, or doing something new that you've never done before. With all this sort of adventure and exploration, it's really, really highlighting to you, Scorpio, to try something new. and explore something, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of discovery that happens there. Embrace the good and the bad. Maybe there is because the underworld, it talks about sort of like shadowy energies, but you have shadowy energies, but then these two bottom of the deck, Swan and Singer of the Chalice, are like really, really beautiful, like love cards. It could be something about, maybe you're going through a process of unconditional love at the moment. Like seeing the good and the bad. Maybe there are certain dynamics or relationships right now that like you're seeing the good and the bad. Or having a lot of compassion for people where they are right now. That's how it's coming through. Could also be for yourself. You may have a lot of compassion for yourself at the moment as well. Okay, so this card coming out, Land, Tree, Moon, talks about the wisdom of the trees, that you have access to vast stores of information and knowledge, and it's like, because it's like looking up at the moon from the earth, right? There's this nature is awash with hidden messages and wisdom, especially trees, because they live so long and stand so tall, which allows them a much more expansive perspective than most people can access. While some people seek knowledge in books and universities, you are being called to the forest, my love. Go spend some time with the trees, preferably at night. The trees have many lessons to share with you to help you heal and lift your spirits. Breathe deeply and direct your exhale on the mottled mosaic of their bark. This will allow you to synchronize your vibration with the tree. This will open you up to be able to receive its knowledge and ancient wisdom that transcends the cognitive knowing of the mind. Yeah. I'm getting kind of like being inspired by nature is how this is coming through. I feel, because it, like, maybe it's something as like literal as like you're creating an artwork that is inspired by trees or nature in some way. It doesn't have to be that though, but I feel like maybe just spending time in nature is really going to be beneficial to you, especially with like all of this sort of earthy energy that's coming through. Because I feel like you're very watery at the moment, Scorpio. My nose is itchy. You're very watery at the moment. I feel like part of what's going to help with that, because that, I feel like there's something watery that may be causing a bit of confusion. So it's kind of coming through as being like grounding your energy, like interacting with earth in some way is going to help you to clarify something, which is interesting. Because it's like, maybe that's something that you're avoiding, because it's coming through as like, if you mix water and earth, it creates mud, right? And so that would be sort of something that you might think is being less clarifying. But in this case, it's coming through as being like, it actually brings more clarity. Interacting with the earth in some way brings more clarity for you. I really feel like it's something about like working with your hands in some way, like working with your hands, creating something. Whatever that is for you. I just feel like there's something like tactile that's like really that's going to be really helpful for you. It's also coming through as nourishment. Like, what do you do for like creative nourishment is how it's feeling to me. What inspires you? Like, what makes you feel like more motivated to create things? That kind of energy. Maybe there's like some sort of new like For example, like a craft store or something that you want to go check out, or like that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be a craft store. It could be like a museum. It could be, that's way too many cards. It could be like a museum or a library, or like, I don't know, something that feels very local to you. This is a Mars in Leo energy. Fire, wildfire, star. So the Mars and Leo energy may be helping with that. Again, the Mars, there's this, it's really coming through as like, expression of your body in some way. Like this is it's so interesting because I was talking about the sacral chakra and the throat chakra, which are represented in these colors today, the orange and the blue. I feel like there's something about like your sacral chakra is like, there's this sort of like feeling of like wanting to create something, or wanting to move, or wanting to do something, or like pursue something, act on something, which is this Mars energy. But it feels kind of like there's something here where maybe it's feeling a bit muddy. I don't know in what way. I'm gonna read this card. It hasn't come out in a while. It used to come out a lot when I first started using this deck. Okay. When the fires rise up from within to animate your spirit, it is time to learn the dance of the flame. Yeah, it's like the spirit dancer. The dance of the flame. Now is the time to let yourself be wild and to let yourself be free. To let the heat and the passion of the cosmic fires guide you. Never mind how it looks or what people might think or might say about you. Gossip is no match for the power of the flame. The fire inside your belly cannot be tamed and cannot be controlled, and it is far too powerful to kowtow to other people's fears or judgments. The flames are carrying you to greater heights and guiding you to magical depths. Let the fires burn. Let them have their way with you as you rise like the great and mighty phoenix and soar. Which is very interesting, Scorpio, because you have this sort of like wild burning fire. And then, okay, you have this sort of like wild burning fire. I feel like this is an internal process, but on the outside, it kind of appears like this sort of like cool, calm, collected, like night energy. Like it feels cool, which is very interesting. There's a contradiction here. It's not a bad thing though, Scorpio. That's just how it's feeling. There's a bit of a contradiction in these two energies where it's like you have this like burning, I don't know, passion or desire, but on the outside it looks like this. just like cool, calm, collected kind of energy. And I feel like that's perhaps where there's a bit of this energy of confusion. Maybe there's something about like learning how to sort of like balance those two energies a bit, because these two cards are coming out as being like time to go on an adventure, Scorpio, like time to like express this energy in some way, right? Like time to get in the mud, so to speak. This could be in particularly relevant to, like, I feel like there's a lot of Mars that's coming in. Mars energy. Okay. Fire, ancestor fire, and moon. So you may be receiving messages from your ancestors and guides at the moment. This card talks about sort of like you're receiving messages through like music or signs and synchronicities, that kind of thing, in order to communicate something to you. That's coming out underneath the Pook. So again, it kind of feels like maybe you have to go to a particular place, because the Lascuna is very grounded. It does talk about sort of like your local neighborhood. Like literally that's how it's coming through. Like perhaps there's like, you got to drive somewhere, right? And the first song that you hear on the radio is a message from the universe. Like that, it's that kind of energy. Or you go to like some store that you've never been to before and there's a sign there that you see something, like it's coming through like that. You have to explore to receive this message, Scorpio. Yeah. All the ancestors ask of you is that you pay attention, heed their call, and respond. It is time to connect with your ancestors. Build a bridge that allows their presence to be felt and acknowledged. Create an altar for those in your bloodline who walked this earth before you. Make an offering, say a prayer, sing a song. The ancestors have wisdom to share with you. Your connection will create more ease in your life and more trust in your soul. Maybe there's something of like a park. I don't know what, this is so specific. Like a park, maybe like a local park or something like that. Because I'm seeing this image of like, you know, when in some parks they have like park benches or like literal trees that are dedicated to family members who have passed. Maybe there's something like that for you. Like maybe there's like, I don't know, maybe somebody in your family has done that for like another relative, and it's like, maybe you should go to that park. There could be something about, or maybe that's something that you want to do for a relative. Maybe there's something about like honoring a family member or something like that, like someone who has passed, with like a park bench or a park tree or something, like some sort of like monument is how it's coming through. There's this one park in Vancouver that I was I went to. I can't remember which park it was. But when I was there with my dog, I was visiting my sister like a couple years ago now. I was at that park and like every single bench had like a little plaque with like that was dedicated to a person. I feel like some of them were still living. It was just kind of like you could donate money or whatever. And some of them had like little quotes, like little quotes or little slogans dedicated to that person. It was so sweet. And so I just spent like, me and my dog were just walking in this park and like I just went around reading all the plaques. I don't know. I don't know why it's feeling kind of like a memorial energy, especially with the underworld. Maybe there's something like you're honoring some aspect of like a past relative. It doesn't even have to be connected to the relative, a relative. It could be some aspect of yourself as well in some way. It feels very much like honoring the dead, especially with the underworld. Is the Day of the Dead in May? It's something like that. Oh no, it's November 2nd. The Day of the Dead. What is in May? Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. I don't think that's what... Anyways, I don't know. I'm getting pulled into that for some reason. There's something about May for you that's coming in. I don't know what that is, Scorpio. Maybe someone you know died in May. I don't know. Or maybe that's someone's birthday. May is also Taurus season, which is opposite you in some way, Scorpio. I don't know what this is. because it's kind of feeling like there's something that you're supposed to be working with in the physical in some way. It's very earthy. It's very pentacles focused for you. Okay, yeah. Land, animal, star. So for you have land and fire cards. Okay, think of an animal, Scorpio. Shamans have long revered sacred animal totems for their strength, their power, their wisdom, and their magic. All people have their own sacred animal totems that govern their lives. The gifts, behaviors, and characteristics of these animals guide you and bless your path. Notice the animals that appear in your life and that guide your dreams. When you close your eyes and ask your animal totems to show themselves to you, which are the first to show up? Are there any animals you feel an affinity for or that pop into your mind as you read these words? These are your animal totems, child. Trust in the messages and in the medicine they hold for you. They are your allies. They hold the wisdom that will guide you on your journey here. Maybe there's an animal that you've been that's been appearing in your dreams. It doesn't have to be regular, but just remember, like, if there are any animal symbols that come into your dreams, pay attention to that. I did dream of an animal last night. I'm not going to say which one it was because it's so random. But just pay attention to that. Maybe there's like some sort of like message or symbol that is wanting to come through with this. This also comes through with this energy of like the third eye. But it's feeling very much like animal wisdom for you, Scorpio. Like there's something very like physical about your experience right now that you're being asked to embrace. Like it feels very much like actions or instinct or like this sort of like very primal energy is actually how it's coming through, especially with the trees. It's like communicating with nature in a very different way that I feel that you're used to. Like there's almost like there's like not a lot of energy that's being focused in the mind right now, which I feel like is a good thing. It's kind of coming through with all like this fire and earth, because I actually feel like there's something about your water at the moment that's not reliable, is just how it's coming through. Your water, which is normally your element, feels kind of like for lack of a better description, like murky. It's not clear right now. Your water is not clear. And so it's kind of like the earth and the fire are actually better indicators for you of some sort of truth. That's how it's feeling. Like fire and earth are the elements that are showing you the truth in this case. So your emotional energy may not be I don't know. There's something about the water that I feel like is which is interesting because you have the swan at the bottom of the deck. This is normally a good card, but again, because the Pook is out, it's saying that there's bad in the good. So this swan card is this sort of like energy of a healing energy and creative energy. It's like very mystical healer creator energy. But I'm getting something about the reflection that's not a beneficial energy for you at this time. So if it's something where it's like you're doing a lot of internal work, that's not benefiting you at this time. It's something about like you have to do something externally that is going to be a better indicator. Like it's very much fire and earth focus, which I'm seeing as being like your surrounding environment, like your material, like it's 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. You're being asked to explore that in some way. I feel like you need to go and do some sort of like You don't need to do anything, Scorpio. This is just the guidance that's going through. Like, drive around your neighborhood. It doesn't have to be far, but go somewhere within your neighborhood that you've never been to before. That's how it's feeling. Interesting. Okay. Land, mountain, star. Can I have one more? Okay. Yeah, okay. So sky, snow, sun, and then water, waterfall, earth. Because these are the only two water and air cards that you have. This one talks about like your warmth is melting any sort of icy energies that may be around you. It's a card about warmth and openness and compassion, and it's softening things, which is really lovely. This is a card about connection with others, which is this sort of watery energy for you. But that's sort of like the mud. I feel like Scorpio, there's something about, like, because sometimes I see Scorpio as ice, right? Like, it represents ice because it's the fixed water sign, right? So ice is fixed water. Maybe you are currently in a metaphorical spring energy, which is this sort of like the ice is melting. So perhaps energetically, you're in this sort of metaphorical spring where something's melting. It's like, but it's muddy. And it's like, embrace that, Scorpio. There are like little treasures hidden in the mud is how it's coming through. And you got to sort of like dig them out. It's because the ice has melted. But I feel like there's something maybe challenging about that energy for you, because it kind of feels uncomfortable, or that there's like something about that energy that might feel kind of like you just gotta like practice, maybe. I don't know. This card, because this card talks about like you have a toolkit that has all of the things that you need in order to be successful. You've gathered a lot of success and experiences that are going to allow you to succeed in whatever challenge you're about to face. And I feel like it has something to do with like you have to dig for the treasure in whatever way. Maybe it has something to do with like finding the proper tools. Because it's like something where it's like you're trying to create something, right? You need certain materials. You need certain tools. You need like machinery in order to like do the things that you're trying to create, right? You need the proper tools in whatever way. I feel like someone needs to go to like an art store and just like go through the aisles, like something like that, or like a home hardware store, or like something like that, where it's like you got to go search for a tool, Scorpio. This could be metaphor, but it feels very like physical, grounded energy for you. It feels earthy. There's something physical that you need in order to create this next thing or whatever it is. There's an adventure for you though. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm gonna end it there, Scorpio. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a message down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.